You are watching the Learn, Grow, Repeat with J. Marie and Laditeesh podcast channel. We hope that you are inspired, encouraged, and even entertained. Be sure to hit the like button, leave us a comment, and join our online tribe by hitting subscribe. Let's get into it.
And I think a lot of people view it that way. Like, why, you know how people move in together before they get married. Traditionally, you're not supposed to do that. You're supposed to, once you're married, you move in together. But these days, people are living together before they even engage, let alone married, because they want to see how it is. It's a test run to see how it is living with the person. Can you take sleeping with them every night? Are they messy? Are they this? Do they cook? Do they do things without you having to ask them? You know, all those different things. And so I honestly, because I am single, I view things from different perspectives, which conflicts a lot because I am Christian as well. And you know, that's the area, the gray area I'm in is like, you know, I want to have sex, but at the same time, I want to see what this purity thing is like to see if this could potentially lead me to what I truly desire. So yeah. And then with dating too, when you're dating, I take dating as the interview process. And then, you know, but when you're dating multiple people at this point. He could be dating multiple people. It sucks, but it's the reality. It's interviews. Like, you going for a job, you're going to interview a few people. But then after that, and you get into an exclusive relationship, I consider it like an internship opportunity. Internship opportunity. Now I'm testing you to see if you can really take on the role as being my, not only my man, but my husband and the head of my household. So in your whole exclusive relationship time period, whatever that time period is, that's how I view it. So ultimately, that's when I feel as if I should have sex with a person, not in the dating period. Because if I'm dating Tom, Joe, and Harry, Tom, Joe, and Harry can't all get together one day and say they all slept with Jocelyn. But if me and Harry get together in an exclusive relationship and it gets to that point where I'm comfortable to engage in sexual activities with him, and this is what we are doing because we have the same goal of marriage, then yeah.
And see, I don't have all the answers, and I don't pretend for a moment that I know it all. I just think about the ways in which that I made decisions and follow God's way of doing certain things and the results that that produced. And I just think that even though something is so okay now, like it's socially, acceptable now, but goes against the grain of, the Christian faith, I think that there is purpose and things that God has established in the way that he has established them. And though it may look totally different than what we experience today, there's purpose in it and there's a blessing in that. You know what I mean? And it may not feel good or look like, what everybody's doing. But I think that sacrifice and that, willingness to say, God, above all, I'm going to do it the way you instruct me to do it. I think that there's reward in that. You know what I mean? So again, like, I didn't wait. But I think, God knew my heart, and he knew that. And that's the thing too about, being a Christian. Like, no Christian is perfect. So please,
None.
like, let's dead that right here, right now, like, period. You know what I mean? And I think that it is our shortcomings that draw us close to, close to him and deepen our relationship with him. And it was in my desire to, be celibate after, doing the act. I thank God, he honored that, and he, he helped me walk through that process. So again, I don't know. I just think that the way he established it and the way the Bible tells us, to wait, it's for a reason. Because then I think about too the when situations don't go in a positive way. Like for me, it worked out because I ended up marrying my boyfriend.
Yeah.
But, when it doesn't turn out that way, and then now, you got people who, low self-esteem or don't know who they are anymore, or like, there's so many stories like that, you know what I mean?
It
Women
is.
who, and so it's like the heartache and the heartbreak, because to me, sex is not just a physical act.
It's really
it
not.
is not.
It's not. I say that all the time. As much as I enjoy sex, it is not a physical act. And I can feel the difference compared to if I'm with someone who I'm not emotionally and mentally connected to. It feels completely different. I don't care what is going on. What are you doing? I don't care what candle is lit, what music is played. If that connection is not there, especially for me, and I think this goes for, I can't speak on the behalf of a man, but I know a lot of women who feel the same way. Like if I'm not feeling connected to this person, it doesn't feel the same. Now, compared to when you are emotionally connected to this person and mentally connected to them, it don't matter. You just look at them and you're like, that is, ooh, you know what I mean? It don't even matter. So
then, like, coming from that perspective, though, is the test drive necessary? Because if you are with your best friend,
good point.
You know what I mean? If you are with your best friend and you are committed to spending your life creating with this individual, doing life with this person, you know what I mean? Even if he don't know all the tips and tricks, whatever, but we developing this together, we teach each other, we grow together. Like, that's another way of deepening our intimacy in our relationship and growing together. Like, it ain't, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I think that, yeah, we say, oh, I want to see how it is before I commit. But I think that once you commit, it makes it that much more, a us thing. You know what I mean? It makes it more of a deep connection when we learn it and growing together, because Lord have mercy. Because you grow in that area as well, you know what I mean? And things like, I'm just gonna leave it at that, because my husband he gonna listen to this. I'll be like, girl, shut up. But you grow in that area as well, you know what I mean? So it's like, I know people are not going to agree, but this is just how I feel.
Yeah.
I don't believe that we have to test drive. If you are with the person who you want to be, spend your life with, then y'all gonna work that out together. Period.
That is great.
So
that is really great. That's good.
Wow. So you brought up exclusive courtship and like those relationships. So do you think that not dating, because I get it now, you've explained it, that modern day dating is like an interview, and we go on multiple interviews before we select the internship or the job, whatever the case may be, right? So, but do you think that exclusive relationship, do you think that it should resemble a marriage, and if so, in what ways?
I do. I think that an exclusive relationship should resemble marriage because, like I said earlier, it's an internship. So when you're in an internship, it's like you have the real job without the money, right? Yep. So when you're in an exclusive relationship, you got the real job without the paperwork. You
without
my
the
man.
Benefits.
Without the benefits and without the 401k where I match you, okay? And without that too. So, I feel like during that time period, I need to see if you can fill that husband role. I need to see and evaluate, and also evaluate me as well. See if I can be the wife that you desire, because you could talk a good game. Anybody can. Anybody can look good on paper and all of that, but it all comes down when you're faced with these different situations and scenarios and things like how are you going to act when I lose my job, God forbid. I lose my job, and now you're the only income in the house, and we're living together, and you have children already, or you have children from previous relationship, and I have children from previous relationship. So what are you going to do in this instance? Because you can't run, because if we were married, this isn't an opportunity to run. You know what I mean? It's for richer or poorer. So this is an opportunity for you to show me how you would handle this type of situation in the event we were married, because honestly, marriage is only going to do is change my last name and we signing paperwork. That's the only difference I see. So I think it's extremely important that it does resemble marriage in that way, because you have to see how this person is going to be in different circumstances, not when it's all bubble gums and ice cream, but in those moments that marriages face. Now, I have not been married, but because I have such a great example in my parents and I've seen them go through all different types of things together, no matter how hard it was or how angry they went through it together. So because I see that, I understand the importance of, patience and compassion and understanding, and also some submissiveness and things like that. Because I know when I'm with somebody, I'm all the way in. I'm all the way in, and I take it. You're my family now, so I take family very serious. So I really do think it needs to resemble that. What do you think?
I agree with some of what you said. Okay. I definitely think that it should resemble a marriage, and that, like you said, we should be encouraging each other, looking out for each other, supporting each other, going through difficult situations and seeing how we both handle them, together. I think that if this is exclusive and we really see a life together, then we should start, discussing future plans and different things like that.
Yes.
But because I've seen it so many times. I don't think that we should live together. And I don't think that, again, we were discussed that we should have sex. And I don't think that we should put our money together. Like, if we are not married, my money is my money.
I agree with that. That's why I said the benefits package comes.
Yeah, and
the package comes with marriage.
Right. Right.
No, you want your 401k, you want me to match your percentage? I'm going to match your percentage, but that's not going to be until after we are legally married. I have never in my life, and I guess that's why I haven't been married. I've never in my life had a joint bank account with any man. I have lived with a man, and, splitting bills and things like that. But as far as money, access to my money, knowing how much money I really have, no, I have not gotten to that point. And I don't think it's necessary to do while you're in an exclusive relationship. Now, if you want to share that information, that's one thing, because I'm big on, I want to know everything. I need to run your credit.
We need to talk about money for sure.
I need to
we just ain't putting it in the same pot.
Account. We're not putting it in the same account. Because if you draw, ain't nothing touching mine, okay? I'm telling you right now. It ain't doing.
But that's why I feel like we shouldn't live together either, because like I've seen relationships, I'm talking about engagements, like we're engaged, we're planning our wedding. You know what I mean? We're living together, both our names on the lease, both our name is on the mortgage, whatever. And that relationship, we never made it to the aisle. It just complicates things so much. That situation is already complicated. But now that we got a house we got to sell because both our name is on it, or we got a lease that doesn't expire for another 8 more months because both our name is on it. Like, it's just now who gonna live here because now we're not together. Like, it just complicates things so much. And that's why, again, I'm gonna avoid it altogether. Like, I just gotta avoid it altogether, because it's like, if we don't, because we're not yet, you know what I mean? If we don't make it to the aisle, what then happens? Like, I don't know. I just think my bank account is mine.
Yes, I agree with that 100%.
And, and first of all, for me, looking at the man, I need to be able to see you manage a household on your own.
Join the conversation by emailing your questions to learn.grow.repeat@gmail.com. Be a part of our online tribe by following the podcast on Facebook and Instagram at Learn.Grow.Repeat. Now let's get into the episode.
You know what I mean? Like, I want to see that you're able to do it by yourself first. You know what I mean? Before bringing me on. Like, I want you to have that confidence in knowing that, I can support a household. Like, I don't know.
Well, when you say that last statement, we grown now, we old. I feel like that's one of the things I need to know off the rip. Like, do you live alone? Who do you live with? I always ask, oh yeah, I got my own place. Yeah, who you live with? Sometimes you gotta rephrase questions with these guys these days. Let me tell you something. Because they could say they have their own place and be living with their baby mama in 2 separate rooms, type of thing, or they living with a family member or whatever. But you need to have your own, because I have my own, and I pay attention to all of that. Even something as minimal as like this guy I was talking to, his phone was disconnected every month at the same time. That was such a turn off for me, because I'm like, that shows me that you're irresponsible, that you can't even stay up on your phone bill. So how can I expect you to be ahead of the household and make sure that our bills are paid on time? So now, because of how I was raised and what I seen my parents, where to this day, my dad, every Saturday, wake up, he sit down, they old school, they ain't online and stuff, got all the papers across the dining room table. You know what I'm saying? And got the pad, and he crossing off what he got to pay and whatever. Now, granted, my father's not paying all the bills. My father and my mother both share the financial part of it. But because I've seen that, my mother allows my father to pay the bills. It's his responsibility to take care of everything. And so, and ultimately, that is what I'm looking for. So if you can't keep your cell phone on every month and then say, oh, I got to turn it back on, it's not that I don't have the money, I just ain't turn it back on. That's showing irresponsibility to me, and I don't want an irresponsible man.
Or that you got a lot going on. Like, you got a lot going on. And I don't know, man. You got to get that together. Yeah, I don't know. That's just, and I know that I'm very old school, especially when it comes to things like this. And again, I have zero skin in the game, because I've been, I married my high school sweetheart. You know what I mean? We practically grew up together. We met at age 16. Like, literally, I've been with him more than half my life. You know what I mean? And we grew together. And I'm proud of that story, because we definitely had challenges. Like, we were kids, you know what I mean? So I'm talking about evolving and growing. Like, we're totally different people than we were when we were 16. And with that comes challenges, because, we grow and we evolve. But it's just, I have siblings and, close friends and relatives that, I witness and I see them go through things. And it's just like, oh gosh, man, like, it's hard out here.
It really is. It's hard out
here.
Hard out here for a pit. I'm sorry.
Listen,
I just heard that when you said it's hard out here. But yeah, it's real. It truly is.
So you're currently dating.
Yeah.
Right. So, but I'm assuming you're dating with a purpose. Like, you're not just out here to, you're dating to hopefully find your life partner. Yes. Currently, right now.
Yes.
That was your cue. That was your cue to. So
yes, I am dating right now. So if you are interested, please slide in my DM at Marie Moments.
Serious inquiries only, okay? We don't want no jokers.
No jokers. If you got more than 2 baby mothers, please do not hit me up. If you're a musician, do not hit me up.
Put it out there, sis. Set those boundaries.
If you are under 30, do not hit me up. Okay? If you do not have a vehicle of your own, do not hit me up, because you're not driving mine.
And a valid license, please.
Please, valid.
With insurance.
Valid, okay? I got people who can look that up, okay?
Lord, come on. Speak it into the atmosphere.
Come on, and please be above 5'5", okay? Because I am a tall glass of water, okay?
Well, now that we got that out the way. Other than those things, what do you desire most in your lifelong partner?
A grown man. A grown man who knows God for himself, respectful, driven. Someone who match my drive, because I'm driven and I need somebody that's going to match it or exceed it. I can't have someone who's too lax and lazy. I need someone who knows the value of a Black woman, because I know the value of a Black man. I love our kings. I want a Black man. I don't care, light skin, brown, caramel, it don't matter. I love my Black kings. I have not given up on them yet. And a lot of our Black kings have given up on us, but I have not given up on them. So that's definitely like what I desire most in a life partner. Also, someone who loves children but don't desire additional children, because I want to have more.
That's important too. You gotta let that be known, especially if you don't want any more. You know what I mean?
That's one of the first conversations I had with anyone new. I asked them that because I would hate for him to fall crazy over me, because it happens a lot. And he finds out that I don't want any more children, and now we're like, we wasted time. So I think that's important, to put out there what you truly want, and not be afraid to do that. Because I know I was for a long time, and I settled for things that I didn't necessarily want. But I think once you are, you know yourself, again, you take that time to know you and become whole, then you can be really transparent and honest with people, and don't be afraid to be like, you know what? Yes, I really like this guy, but we don't desire the same things, and I have to let him go. And it's okay. It's a risk, but it's okay, because I truly believe that God's going to grant me the desires of my heart.
Amen. Yeah.
So if that's the case, then I don't have to just settle with the first guy that I happen to connect with when we don't have the same desires, or think that I can change it too, because people think that too, that they can change your mind and like that.
But that's key too, especially when you know what you want and you trust God to order your steps and to give you the desires of your heart. You can boldly be upfront and transparent and honest with those things. You know what I mean? Because again, I'm not trying to ruin nobody's life. I'm not trying to break nobody's heart. And I'm not trying to waste nobody's time.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's big of you, and that's important. That's really key. I think for me, one of the traits that I love most about my husband is, first and foremost, his affection towards God. You know what I mean? His discernment and his willingness to submit to the things of God. Him being able to pray with me and over me, child.
Come on.
I'm telling you.
That's awesome.
And it's like sometimes I have to repent because he could be standing there praying and I'll be like, dang, yo, that's sexy. I'm like, Tisha, stop. Like, stop. Be focused. Get in the spirit. Like, get in the spirit. But I'm telling you, like, if I'm not feeling good, him laying his hands on me and speaking over me, bringing me before God, like, that is the most intimate thing to me. And everybody don't, value it, but that is the most intimate thing to me. Him, bringing our family affairs, our children up, to God in prayer. And then just, again, him being able to submit to the things of God, not being too proud, and him showing that he can do that, he leads our household, and it's a beautiful thing to see. So that's first and foremost.
That's beautiful.
And just his affection towards me. The one thing he does all the time, I think I told you this before, that Brent, not a day goes by where he doesn't tell me that I'm beautiful, he loves me, and he kisses me like on my forehead. And like some days when my hormones are like out of whack, I'm like, oh, like, come on, all right, good, all right, yeah, love you too. But not a single day, not even if we're mad at each other. Like, he is always first to apologize, and I am not ashamed to say that I'm extremely stubborn, and I could be a big baby sometimes, like whole attitude. And he actually shared with me, years ago, that God dealt with him, with that, and that with him being head of the household, whether he's right or wrong, he's like, I'm always going to apologize first, because he said, he called me the thermostat. He said, you're the thermostat in the house, but like, he said it's my responsibility to, you know, keep things, you know, copacetic, like cool, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So he said, whether I'm right or wrong, I'm always going to be the first to apologize. And back to that affection, like knowing that I am his one, and him going out his way or making it his duty to show me that on a daily, not just with his words, but with his deed, is something that my husband does phenomenal at. And I am truly blessed when it comes to that.
You really are.
No, I don't take it for granted. And I'm not shy about saying it either. You know what I mean? Because people need to know that there are good men out here. Like there are good men out here who love their wives, who love their families, and who are trying. My husband's not perfect, but he tries. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He gives it his all. And what more could you expect? Because I'm not perfect.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I give you me. You know what I mean? So those, I would say, are my top two. With him. And again, you know, trustworthiness and different things like, you know, communication, like all that's important. But those two right there, brother, he ain't ever gotta worry. You don't ever gotta worry, boo.
Are you familiar with the 5 love languages?
I am.
So do you think that because you and your husband have been together for so long that you guys have learned and mastered what you guys' love languages are?
So we haven't mastered it. Again, it's not mastered because, you know, we're still, you know, individuals, and we're still growing. But I think that we talk about it a lot. Because sometimes, you know, we get caught up in our day to day, and we have to give each other reminders. When you're with somebody for so long, it's easy to fall into a stage or a phase where you get comfortable because things are convenient, and you don't have that same regard. You know, you're not always on your toes. You know what I mean? So when that happens, like, we have to nudge each other. You know what I mean? Like, you know, not scream, fight, and yell, but, you know, I'll nudge him. Hey, I ain't had flowers in a long time. You know what I mean? Because my love language is, like, I love, like, acts. Like, like, if you come in, or if I come in and I see you, like, sweeping because I don't have to sweep, if I see you cooking and now I don't have to cook, like, child, or wiping down the counter, like, like that just sends me, like, you know, or like flowers just because, or like different things like that. Like, that's what I like. His love language is physical touch. Physical touch. Like, he loves like when I touch him, like, embrace him. And that was hard for me because even though I love hard, I am not, what's the word? Like, I am not very like touchy-feely.
Yeah.
Like I'm not very touchy-feely. And as a woman, you know, not all girls are mushy like that. Like, I'm just not. Like, I'm not very, but that's his love language. And it's so funny how God, you know, puts people together, because I'm telling you, yin and yang, like, me and Brandon, like, are so opposite when it comes to certain things, but that's how we complement each other. That boy he doesn't have a rush bone in his body, and he is so freaking patient. I speed. I talk so fast. I'm always on the move, and my patience level is always, I stay at like a 35%. And it's like the way God has just showed up in our relationship and has shown us areas where we need, you know, adjustment and tweaking. It was like we complement each other. And that's the beauty of a marriage. Like, it ain't perfect, but when you got your one and y'all committed to making it work, you just make it do what it do. Like, you make it do what it do. So I don't know what question we was on, but
that was no, that was just very insightful, because I'm always curious, because I read a lot of things, and even with my last relationship, I was with him for 6 years, and that was one of my longest relationships. And I took such, you know, care to learn what was his love language and things like that. But and mine is same as you as far as acts, but it's funny enough that it's a combination of what you and Brandon love languages are. So I am very mushy. I'm mushy. I like to hold hands. I want you to smack my butt when I walk by you. I want you to hug me. I want you to kiss me for no reason. Cuddling, like that's me. I will sleep on you half the night, then we pull apart because we hot and then get back together. That's me. But at the same time, you know, and this is something my ex was really good at. He would just clean or do laundry or, you know, go get the car wash or go pick the kids up for me without me asking. And I just felt like that was just like, oh my gosh. I'm like, woo, wait till them kids go to sleep, you know, type of thing, because it just made me feel good. Like you cared enough. And this was your way of showing that you loved me, you know? So I get it.
Aww. Listen, you like what's for you is for you. And I think you're in a very pivotal place where you are being enlightened, you are growing, you are becoming more aware, you know, of the things that you desire.
Yeah.
And it's right around the corner. Like I truly believe it. And I think you're doing all the right things with being like upfront and honest, not wasting time. Like although all that is important. Like all that is important. So, but what topics do you think that people should discuss before they get married? And we kind of touched on it a little bit, but is there anything you wanna add to that? You talked about you know, having kids or not having kids, money, you know, different things like that. But what else? Like, what do you think? Because it's all in the details. You know what I mean?
It truly is. And I think that when you're in a relationship with someone or thinking about, even in a relationship, because that's right before marriage, when you're in a relationship with someone, I would ask, what does marriage look like to you? Like that is like huge, because how you view marriage may be completely different than how I view marriage. You know, there's a lot of throwback, I call them the throwback guys that want you to be like the back in the day women and don't work and stay home and just take care of the kids and take care of the home and take care of him. That is not going to work for somebody like me. I'm too driven for that. I'm thinking about another side hustle now while we on the podcast. You know what I mean? So it's it's like that wouldn't work. But it's important to have that conversation, because you don't want to have you don't want to be resentful when it doesn't come out the way that you expected to be. You know, I would hope no one thinks that marriage is all good all the time, because I know I don't. But I think that's one of the most important things that you need to discuss. And also too, from things like, where do you want to live? Something small as that. You know, some people are okay with, we can just rent and have an apartment. Then there's other people like me, I'm trying to own me a house. I'm trying to have a pool in the back, because I'm going to be the one having all the cookouts. And you know what I mean? Like we have to have, if not the same, but very similar outlooks on what marriage is going to look like. You know?
That's key, because, and what I'm learning too, we have a lot of, young cousins and different things like that. So I ask these questions, but a lot of people have different, like, people do not view marriage in the way that, at least I view it, even how you view it. Some people just think, oh, it's just, a piece of paper, or, tax purposes or different things like that. Like, people view it as that. So I think that it's important to, when you are dating someone, to really find out what it means to them. Because if we're not on the same accord, we're not on the same page when it comes to our vision, where are we going?